Iron Widow. So what? You file paperwork for the army? Her voice cut through the barbecue smoke, light and mocking. My wife's sister, grinning, drink in hand. I wiped my palms on a napkin. No, I said, I fly. She laughed. Oh yeah? What's your call sign? Iron Widow. The laughter stopped. Her father, my father-in-law, froze mid-bite. Retired Navy SEAL, 30 years, 3 tours, a wall of medals. He stared at me like I'd just pulled the pin from a grenade. Girl, he said to his daughter, apologize, now. That was the moment everything changed. She frowned, confused. For what? I was just, now, he barked, his voice iron. The table went silent. Even the music from the speakers seemed to hesitate. I watched her face shift from smug amusement to something else, something nervous, and I knew. There was more to that question than she realized, and there was more to his reaction than fear, because he knew exactly who I was. The night ended in fragments. Her father's silence, my wife's questions, her sister's embarrassed laughter trying to patch the air back together. But the look in the old man's eyes stayed. Recognition and guilt. I hadn't flown in 2 years, officially. Unofficially, there were files so black they didn't exist. But someone had told him. Someone close. Someone inside my home. It started with the phone calls. Late, brief. She'd step outside to check something for work. Once I followed, quietly. She was sitting in her car, whispering, the engine off, a hand pressed against her temple. No, he doesn't know. He still thinks I'm here for him. Her voice was low, urgent. I froze, the night pressing against my skin. Then she said it, just one word that snapped the world clean in half. Seal. Not deal, not feel. I went back inside before she could see me, sat on the couch, stared at the blank television until she returned. Everything okay? I asked. She smiled. Too fast. Work stuff, of course. I didn't ask again. Interrogation burns the truth before it shows itself. Observation reveals it whole. Over the next weeks I studied her, not with anger, with precision, patterns, routines, digital traces. Every deleted message resurrected, every file recovered, every location logged. It was there, buried under layers of encryption, photos, coordinates, internal memos. Someone had been using my identity clearance to move classified data through civilian channels, my credentials, my encryption key. The signature belonged to me, but the hand wasn't mine. There were transfers to an offshore account, all authorized under my name. And one more thing. Attached to her personal profile, a classified communication log with a single encrypted alias, Raven 9. That was her father's old call sign. The betrayal wasn't infidelity, it was espionage. She had been feeding him information, using my clearance, my access, my trust. I was the delivery system, the perfect cover. And the sister, her careless question at the barbecue, had almost torn the whole mask away. I didn't confront her immediately. Patience is a blade that sharpens itself in silence. I needed proof strong enough to bury them both. I staged an inspection, re-accessed my classified clearance through a secondary server, sent a ping through a dead channel only I knew existed. It was a trap, a silent alarm disguised as routine data transfer. Within an hour, I had a trace. The signal bounced through her device, rerouted to a secure military archive, and then straight to him, her father. They weren't just leaking data, they were selling it, and they had used my name to do it. I didn't sleep that night, didn't drink, didn't move. I just sat in the dark, listening to her breathing beside me. So steady, so peaceful. Every breath she took was borrowed. 2 days later, I filed an anonymous report under an old operational identity. Iron Widow was more than a call sign. It was a protocol, one designed to isolate and neutralize internal threats through exposure, not violence. Once activated, it triggered an automatic data audit across every connected military system, every unauthorized access point flagged, every participant logged, every transaction linked. By dawn, the net had closed. She came home early that morning, eyes red, breath shaking. "Something happened," she whispered. "Dad's under investigation. They think someone hacked his accounts." I nodded slowly. "Strange," I said. "You think it was me?" Her head snapped up. "What? I mean, you used my access, my ID, my files. Maybe they traced it." Her face drained of color. She stepped back, stumbling into the counter. How do you—" "Iron Widow," I said quietly, and watched her freeze. The truth hit her like a gunshot she didn't hear coming. She sat down hard on the edge of the couch. "Please," she whispered, "I didn't mean. He said it was temporary, that no one would get hurt." "Stop." My voice was calm, flat. "Don't turn this into confession. You already made your choices." Tears started to fall. Not guilt, fear. "They'll destroy him," she said. "They'll destroy me." "They already did," I replied. Her phone buzzed. A message flashed across the screen before she snatched it up. "Federal warrant executed. Secure all devices." Her hand trembled. I stood, slipped my ring from my finger and placed it on the table. "You used me," I said. "You built a life on my name and thought I'd never notice. But names have weight. Mine just crushed you." She looked up, eyes wild. "You turned him in?" "No," I said. "You did. I just opened the door." Outside, sirens began to wail in the distance. I could see the flashing blue bleeding through the curtains. She reached for me. "Please, tell them it was you. They'll believe you." I stepped back. The silence between us felt surgical, clean. "You wanted to know what I did for the Army," I said. "Now you do." Her tears meant nothing. Her collapse onto the floor meant less. I'd already left her long before I turned toward the door. I walked outside, into the sharp morning air. The sirens grew louder. Somewhere behind me, her father would be cuffed, humiliated, his empire dismantled piece by piece. She would break under interrogation. She would confess everything. They would learn who set the trap, but by then, I'd be gone. Ghosts leave no footprints. Revenge isn't the satisfaction of pain. It's the silence that follows when truth devours those who thought they controlled it. I didn't look back. Didn't feel. Some men burn their enemies. I simply turned on the light and watched them burn themselves.